need to close it. Go, really. I'm pretty sure my brother Isaiah would disagree with what I have to say on this. Or maybe not. Maybe we can sort of have a balance. But we are, you're expecting too much from a people who have only known slavery. It don't make any difference whether you was the original man, Asiatic black man, and you existed 500 million years ago, and all these stories that we're being told. It makes no difference about you did the first blah blah and created the civilization, which if you understood what civilization is, I wouldn't brag about it anyway. That was the beginning to take the independence from human beings away. It was really when you start ganging people up in one particular space like that, you starting to ask yourself for trouble, because when you put people into space like that, they begin to implode on one another. That's what civilization called. Civilization, of course, did create a lot of different technologies and things of this nature, but at the same time, it took away your ability to be an independent person. You can't even get your own drink of water. You have to depend on somebody for your water. There's nothing in your house that you produce yourself. You have to get these things from outside sources. And that's not the way things should be. I was watching a show called Little House on the Prairie, a commercial for Little House on the Prairie, talking about, and this going back to the 1800s, like 1880. They said, let's go back. They talking about Little House on the Prairie. Let's go back to the 1800s, where a time when people were self-reliant. In the 1800s, every town, most not cities, but most rural towns, most of them was independent. They only used and they got what they could produce. If they couldn't produce it, I guess they didn't have it. Now we are eating bananas every day. Do you know where bananas come from? Come from very, very far away. We should not be eating bananas because that's not natural to where we live. But because of technology, because of airplanes, trucks, and buses or whatever, now you can get a banana every day. As far as it takes for a banana to get here, you can eat that every day. That's not natural for you, and you become dependent upon somebody else for your sustenance. Everything in your house, there's nothing that you got in your house that you produce. You can't even go out to a river and get you a glass of water or nothing. Everything that you got, the only thing you can do is get money, and you can't even produce. You're not even control over that. You don't give the money no value. You don't control that. You don't control that monetary value or nothing like that. You don't control nothing about it. So civilization is something really was the beginning of taking you away the human being's right to live the way that you want to live. Now you're under the doctrine of the dominant people, whoever it is that rise up in that implosion, who rise up to the top. We're going to do it my way. That's what so it don't make no difference if the ruler got black skin or white skin. You no longer have your independence. You no longer have your own human rights. You are a slave under a Caucasian, or you're a slave under somebody with black skin. I don't want to be a slave to nobody. None of that. But going back to us as a people, makes no difference what your ancestors was. We suffered hundreds of years of slavery. You don't just come, just because somebody said, y'all free after the Civil War, that don't make you free. These people, our people, have been living in this slave-like condition for hundreds and hundreds of years. It just don't go away. You just don't become free. Just because you talk about Black Power family and you done all this scholarship about the black, that don't change nothing. That you just don't, because you've never been that. You've never been independent from these peckerwoods, never. You was born with them in control, and you will die at the rate we're going. All of us are going to die with them in control. So what is the change? There's nothing going to change till you come from out of your oppressor. All these different things. The only reason why our people done what they done was because they was forced to. Just like a dog, like your pet dog. You can kick your dog, beat your dog, throw your dog outside, whatever. That dog still want to come in your house even after all that mistreatment, because that's all the dog has ever known. And this is all that we ever known. So as soon as they got a chance to get back with Massa, that's what they done. They don't care what they built. They don't care what they done with their own hands. Makes no difference about all that. As soon some people blame, well, Dr. King integration. No, it was always there. It was always there, waiting for opportunity to go back home to Massa because you're a slave. And you still see a slave mindset with these people, pro-black, blackity, black. I'm not impressed by none of that. Only thing I see is a bunch of slaves. And these trolls come to my page because they know that I know that they are slaves. That pro-black, blackity, black, Kemetic, Hebrew Israelite, whatever, all this old pro-black, blacky scholarship stuff, don't impress nobody, because when it's all said and done, you're a slave. Your actions show that you're a slave. How the hell can you come to me when I tell you and ask you about the Mississippi campaign, and you're going to tell me it's a pipe dream, but you have not accomplished that? You are living with your massa. Right now, you're living with your massa. You don't control a damn thing. You don't produce nothing for you. You're going to tell me that I'm a pipe dream, so you're telling me that independence, doing your own thing, and you got to start from somewhere. Take control of a city, a neighborhood. See me, I'm thinking big. You can control a town, you can control a city. Let's think big. You are God, you're a king, and you're a queen. Let's go do the whole thing. Let's think big. Let's take control of a state that's already in existence. You too pathetic and you too pitiful to even take control of a state that you have a population of over 85%. You cannot even do that. So here we are, and you're asking all these different questions, and hell, you don't even like each other. We don't even like each other to get anything accomplished. And it's always about what a white man is, and the white people do this, and that, and that, and that. No, it's about your happy ass. It's about what you failed to do. Just like the brother was saying, him and brother Isaiah, they get along and have disagreements, whatever. You know that I have Negroes that come on my platform. They cannot do that because they want you to be a slave to whatever idea that they don't know how to come together with a brother, with a sister, and say, look, we have a common enemy. We got a common problem. Let's take our ideas. Let's see if we can blend this into one strategy, and let's go for it. Either we lose. If we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. But no, see, so-and-so got to have the credit. No, you got to do it this way. Ways that have already lost. They have not done anything. We're going to die a slave. So you're asking all these questions, and we're expecting great expectations from people who have only known slavery. It feels good to say black power. Oh, that feels great. It feels good to say Jesus too. Ain't no difference. It's all the same stuff. All feel good rhetoric. Jesus, praise due to Allah, black power. It's all feel good rhetoric. It does not produce nothing of substance because in your mind, you're still a slave. Yes, in your mind, you're looking for, instead of being a God, you wanted to find some kind of massa. So if you're not going to serve the white man, you're going to serve another Negro or some alien spaceship that you'd have made up, some imaginary stuff that you'd have made up. You got to express, just find somebody to serve. Only a God, only a free man can take control of Mississippi. I don't expect nobody to embrace the Mississippi campaign because you got to be free. You cannot think like a slave. You have to have imagination. You have to be creative. You have to have a vision. You have to know, okay, because once you do that, now what? Okay, now we got the state. Now what we gonna do? So you have to have a plan, not only in 2019, what is your plan when you dead and gone? Like the forefathers of this nation, they weren't gonna live to see, and they had no idea of what the future lies for America, but they had an idea, they had a vision, and they passed that vision and that imagination, their creativity down to their future generation, so they won't have to create nothing. It's already in motion. We can't even get nothing in motion because you're a slave. A black power slave, a Kemetic slave, a Christian slave, a Republican slave, a Democratic slave. You're expecting too much out of a people who are only known to be a slave. And then when you're dealing with somebody with a slave-like mentality, They turn on each other. That's why the trolls would come here. They will go to each other and they turn on each other instead of turning on the problem and dealing with the problem once and for all. You would rather, oh, Angel Snuffing Up 7 is this, oh, Craig got a big head, he ain't wearing the right shirt, all kinds of foolishness instead of dealing with the problem, because that's all a slave can do. A slave has no power. A slave has no need for the ability to think. We don't think at all, period. It's all about feel-good stuff, plagiarizing people, copying what another slave said, what another slave done. And what is it getting you? And see, for me, it's all good. That's what you want to do. It's all good. But when it's all said and done, don't be shocked and surprised because you ain't getting nowhere. Of course you're not getting anywhere. You keep doing the same loser-ass stuff over and over again. You keep thinking the same kind of way, which is like a slave, over and over again. We got everything that we need. We have plenty of money. We got the education. We got the talent. We got carpenters. We got people that know how to do plumbing, different infrastructure, build roads. We got all the talent we need. We got all the education we need. We got the money. We got everything. The only thing that we don't have is the mind of a free person. You don't expect that. You don't expect that from people that just came out of chattel slavery. But this is 2019. You would think that we should be doing better, but we cannot even reproduce what people that just came out of chattel slavery produce. Don't you know? And see this, I'm gonna say this. They laugh at my Mississippi campaign idea. You're not laughing at me. You're laughing at your ancestors because they was doing that anyway. If it was not for them Peckerwoods terrorizing them in the South and other places, they would have done it. We would have a Mississippi and a Georgia and anywhere where we had a big population, we would have had that long time ago. That's what they was doing because that's what free people do. We would have been running this country. Do you understand that? That's why. That's why the Peckerwood was doing what because they knew we was on our way to actually run this country. How pathetic it would be to be the slave in this country. Then we turn around. Now we run this mother. That's what it's about. And you still see they had a free mentality. They had a free mindset. They didn't know what it was, but they knew they had to take care of themselves, and they was on their way. We actually went back. We have that slave. We have a slave mentality. Go ahead, brother, and we're gonna have to get out of here.